Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. So today's video is a very special one because I am going over my third semester. So if you are new here, my name's Rashida and I am going into my fourth and final semester of nursing school. I am in a 2-year ADN, ASN, however you want to call it, program. So I'm going for my RN, but it's the 2-year instead of my BSN. I'm going into my fourth and final semester. I have 3 boys and I'm a single parent. So I think that's really the gist of it, of like a little bit of a background. But yeah, so yeah, and if you're not new here, welcome back and welcome to today's video. So I just wanted to kind of get that little introduction out of the way because I've noticed some new subscribers coming in, so come on in. I'm not closing the door. As many of you want to come on in and press that subscribe button, you come on in and join me over here in my little corner. Okay, so we can have a little fun. To get started with the video, I'm gonna kind of break it down like I do all my other semester updates and kind of go over like the classes I've taken, the grades I made, how, you know, the classes, how they went over the semester, clinicals, stuff like that. And then at the end of the video, I'll go over stuff like, you know, what next semester looks like because we got all our classes, and what's gonna happen after that because hopefully this coming semester, come January, is gonna be last semester. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this video out the way because it's already December 31st. I'm trying to get this video up before the end of the year technically, and yeah, let's go ahead and pop into this video and get started. So the grades I made were, I made a B, so to end off last semester, I made a B in Med-Surg 2, a B in Pediatrics, and then a C in Pharm, which I wasn't happy about initially, but classes ended on December 5th. It's December 31st. I've had time to, you know, loathe, but I'm actually happy because I missed a B by 2.5. I didn't fail by 2.5. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very grateful for that grade that I got because we're a part of the last cohort to take Pharm into 3 separate segments. So a lot of pressure, and I'll go into this a little bit later, but a lot of pressure was on like this past semester to pass Pharm because if you fail Pharm, it puts you behind a whole nother semester, even if you pass the other classes, because there's no Pharm 2 to retake. You go back with some of the newer cohorts and you have to take Pharm all over again because they're turning it into like a big 3-hour course, so, or a big, you know, 3-credit course. So that would put you behind a semester. So there's a lot of pressure, and there's going to be some pressure next semester too, or this coming semester, to pass Pharm 3 because there's no Pharm 3 to retake. But I'll go over that in a little bit. Let's go ahead and just get Peds out of the way because Peds was like, it started all kind of rough. I believe like one of the first videos of the semester that I posted was that I failed my first test in pediatrics, and I did. I failed my first test in pediatrics. It started off a little rough. A lot of us weren't very fond of the instructor, I'll put it that way, but towards the end we kind of got used to her teaching style because everybody's different. So it took a little bit to get used to her teaching style. And it took a little bit to kind of learn how she tests us for the knowledge, right? It took a little bit to understand how she would test us to know if we understood what we were studying. So I did fail my first exam in Peds, but I kind of made that up with the next exam and then the exam after that. So each exam got a little bit better each time. Peds Clinical was a lot of fun. I got to go to the PICU like twice because I love the PICU. As y'all know from my second semester update, ICU was something that like stood out to me the most, and that's something that still stands out to me to this day. Like, I am still an ICU nurse deep down in my heart. I feel it and I'm gonna get to it. But if I were to do Peds, because I know I swore off Peds from the jump and y'all know that, but I kind of like really enjoyed it. But if I were to do peds, it would be PICU. But the thing about the hospital where I live at, if you do, and this is just from me kind of networking around and like asking nurses the questions, if I were to do peds, I would start, like, they jump you around. So it's not like I'm strictly to the PICU. Like if they needed extra assistance in NICU, I'd be pulled to NICU. If they needed extra assistance in the regular peds floor, I'd be pulled to the regular peds floor. If they had overflow, I'd be pulled to overflow. So the good thing is they kind of put you all over. Like if you work for the children's hospital, you'll get pulled all over. So that's a good thing, I guess, for like diversity and broadening your experience. But that's if I were to do it. I really, really, really love the PICU. I really do. But I'm still kind of up in the air on if I want to do pediatrics in the first place. I definitely still want to do ICU for sure. But if I were to do peds, I would really go for PICU. Like I would do pediatric ICU. So, but yeah, so overall peds was fun towards the end. It was, peds was a different class. And I know that sometimes some classes are easier to others than to others. And sometimes one person will do astronomically better in this class and do terrible in this class or whatever. I get that everybody has like a different like cognitive level, I guess you could say, or how they understand things in different classes. So just don't ever compare yourself because peds started off really difficult for me. And peds to me wasn't an easy class. Eventually, nothing got easy. I just started to understand things. There's a lot that goes into pediatrics. That was peds. I'm glad we got through it. By the end of it, our instructor, like I guess by that point we understood how she worked. We understood how she taught. She's super cool. Like outside of the lecture, she is awesome. Like she was super cool. I loved dealing with her. I loved talking to her. She was super chill, laid back, all that. But with the lecture, there could be, there was a little difficulty in the beginning. That's enough about peds. Let's go ahead and start talking about Med-Surg 2. So Med-Surg 2, we basically kind of picked up where we left off. In Med-Surg, we kind of started off with like, respiratory disorders, and then we jumped from that to cardiac. I think the biggest thing with Med-Surg 2 was the fact that we had a focus on cardiac for like 5 weeks. And I'm not even joking. We learned about the different arrhythmias they have. We learned about, the different sinus rhythms. We learned about the arrhythmias. We learned about, atrial and ventricular and all that fun stuff. And then we went over the strips. We, learned how to read basic strips, like super basic strips, super basic strip. The basics like tachy, Brady, regular sinus rhythm, irregular, normal sinus rhythm. We went through like AFib and A-flutter, and then we went through VTach and VFib, and then asystole. So we kind of like looked at all the basic strips that we could look at without it getting too difficult. We actually got to do a mock code. That was kind of fun. We would like pull like little numbers, and we got to get our roll, and then they would do like that big old dummy. I can't remember what they call them. I think they call them like Greg or something crazy like that. But I don't really have too much trouble with Med-Surg per se. So Med-Surg I made a B in, which was, I'm fine. Like, y'all, I tell you what, like before I got into nursing school, I was just like, I gotta make A's. Now I'm just trying to get through. I'm just trying to pass. I'm just trying to make it through, y'all. I'm just trying to make it through. But yeah, so I got to be in Med-Surg, and then for our clinicals, we were at a different hospital, and we were basically like put on like one floor. Some of us got to go to like CVICU. I got to go to CVICU one day, and then I got to go to wound care one day. So the clinicals were pretty fun. Clinicals are all right for Med-Surg too. And yeah, that was pretty much it. That was pretty much it for Med-Surg too. We did all right. We passed, we all did really good. I think the whole class did really good in med-surg too, so that really wasn't that big of a deal. But like I said, I feel like it was where we picked up kind of where we left off, and we kind of understood, you know, how to look at certain things, what to study, things like that. Now, I do need to go over some of that stuff because I'll touch on this later, but we have an exit exam next semester that's coming up, the semester that's coming up. We have an exit exam, and I know I'm going to have to go over some of that stuff because we had our pre-evaluative exit exam this past, like, month, right before the end of the semester, and you have to have a 900 to pass, and I made it an 846, I think. So there's a lot of room for improvement, so I'm going to be looking at, like, different resources and stuff. So anywho, that's the main thing with med-surg 2. Let's jump right into Pharm 2. So Pharm 2. That class was freaking hard. That class was hard, and I don't know what made it hard. I really don't. I don't know what made it so difficult. I think it was the fact that I don't know, but I passed. I passed it. I passed with a C. I missed a B, but like 2.5, but it's fine. But I have a goal grade for every test that I make, and because it kind of gives me like a little bit of a leeway by the end of the semester, because, you know, I like to start off strong in my classes so that by the end of the semester I have a little bit of wiggle room just in case I don't really feel like studying. Let's put it that way. But yeah, so I didn't make my goal grade for the first two, so I had a lot of making up to do. And I passed my last few tests, and it kind of got me there. But Pharm 2 was a little difficult. I don't know why. I really don't know why. But we made it through. I did like how we kind of followed along with what we were learning with med-surg, because it kind of like in med-surg we would discuss like you know, let's go with angina, right? In med-surg we learned about angina, we learned about unstable angina, stable angina, yada yada yada. So and you know, with the heart attack you learned about your STEMI and your NSTEMI and all of that. So if you're in the ER, you know what to do, your MONA, right? So in that process, now we're in Pharm, and we learned about nitro and how it affects the body, and, you know, what it does on how it relieves the pain. And we understood that it, you know, vasodilates everything, so your blood pressure is gonna, you know, drop and all this other stuff. So then now you have to start thinking about safety and stuff like that. So I liked how Pharm followed along with med-surg too. So I did like that, and I like pharmacology, I really do. So it's not like I didn't like the class or anything, it was just a little bit more difficult this semester. Alright, so I'm going to go into some advice I have if you're going into your third semester. Top 3 pieces of advice, right? And I'm going to do 3 because I just got out of my third semester. The first one I would say is, now that you're going into your third semester, is start throwing yourself out there in clinical. Start trying to network, start asking some serious questions, because I know like first and second semester, first semester you're in nursing school and you don't know what, like, you're just shocked, right? Second semester you're kind of allowed to do a little bit more, but you're still learning, so you're kind of like hesitant or whatever. But by third semester you can at least start to throw yourself out there, like start networking, start asking your you know, your nurse that you're working with that day if you can, like, give certain injections, or you know, do an assessment, chart an assessment, start learning how to chart. Try not to just stick with the nurse that you're given. Try to jump to different nurses if they're open and available, or if your nurse has some downtime and she's charting and you're kind of wanting to keep yourself busy. Go look for other nurses attached to, if their nurses are able, attached to another student in your class, and go with their nurse to see what they're looking at and the different things and the different patients that they're dealing with. Just start trying to throw yourself out there so that you can kind of absorb it all, because now you're coming into a different you're coming into different waters, right? Now you're in third semester, and now your professors or your instructors aren't gonna like baby you and try to push you out there. They're gonna expect you to, you know, get there on time, sit next to your nurse, get that report, understand what you're doing, understand what you're saying, understand what's going on around you. So that's like one of the pieces of advice I would give you. If you're going into your third semester, start really putting yourself out there during clinicals. And then another piece of advice I would say, this is pretty cliche, but stay on a consistent study schedule. Just try to stay on a consistent like study schedule, like for real, because it's easy to slip. I'll just put it that way. It's easy to slip because you start to get comfortable and you start to be like, oh, I know what I'm doing. And then you get in front of your test and you realize, oh crap, I didn't study like I should have because I got a little too comfortable. So just kind of try to stay on a consistent study schedule. A little extra tidbit with now that you're being in third semester, one little extra piece of advice is if you aren't working in the hospital yet as either an intern, a CNA, a nurse assistant, something, try to get in there, because that is one way that you're going to figure out what you're going to do. And I've been working as an intern since the end of my first semester. If you aren't working in the hospital yet, try to get in your hospital as a nurse assistant, as a CNA, as an intern or extern or whatever, just so that you can know like your role in what the basic patient care is, like basic, giving them baths, changing their sheets, walking them, understanding like how to just care for your patient, that one-to-one personal relationship that you're going to be able to develop because you're going to be used to that by that. So I have to admit, like, that's the best thing I've done with understanding and working in the hospital is just understanding like the basics of patient care, the basics of helping them kind of gain their independence and stuff like that. So that is like, I know that's an extra. I said I was going to do 3, but that's like the biggest like extra piece of advice I can give you. If you haven't started working in the hospital, try to get in there, whether it's once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, whatever. At least you're starting to develop that understanding of basic patient care. All right, so for the fun part of the video, we're gonna kind of go over next semester and what fourth semester is gonna have, right? January 2023, like 2023 is about to be the year that, you know, God willing, I pass class, I graduate in May, get in front of the NCLEX, take them boards, and just start getting out there and working as a nurse. So the classes that I'm taking next semester, we had to tackle on an extra class. I'm going to be taking MedSurg 3, Pharm 3, Women's Health and OB, and then professional practice, something like that. And then we'll also have an NCLEX workshop towards the end. We have our exit exam. You know, I'll have to start looking for an SNA person to step in. But yeah, so next semester is going to be a lot of fun. Next semester is full. Next semester, I have class literally every day. I'm going to have class Monday. I have clinical Tuesday. Or no, I have clinical Monday. I have class Tuesday. I have clinical Wednesday, class Thursday, class Friday. So next semester is about to be a beast. Beast. And I already explained to my boss at work. Yeah, fourth semester is about to be fun. The biggest thing about fourth semester that I am nervous about is the exit exam, because like I mentioned a little bit earlier in the video, we took a pre-evaluative exit exam, and you have to have a 900 to pass your exit exam. And typically what they used to do is they used to give all the, you know, senior nursing students or fourth semester nursing students, however you want to call it, they used to give them 3 chances to pass the exit exam. If you pass it your first time, you have a really high chance of passing your NCLEX first time. If you don't, then, you know, each time you have to take it, your chance of passing first time goes down even more. So what they've done is they have taken that 3rd chance that they gave previous cohorts, and they made us use one of those to do a pre-evaluative exit exam to kind of see where we are. I made an 846, I think, so I have a lot of room to grow. And so I've started kind of looking for different HESI exit exam resources, kind of like, you know, like Simple Nursing, I found something the other day called Your Best Grade, just by like looking up YouTube videos and stuff like that. I found something called like Your Best Grade, and apparently that's a really good like exit exam question pool thing where you can practice questions and stuff, because that's the biggest thing with me. I have to do practice questions. I can't go around it. I have to do practice questions so that I know like if I understand what the question's asking me. I understand what the question's looking for, whether it's a priority question or a delegation question or just a simple what is the nurse gonna do question. So I have to do practice questions, and apparently that's a really good practice tool and like a pool of questions that you can use for practice for the HESI exit exam. Now for NCLEX. NCLEX, I think a lot of people use UWorld, but when I go down that road, I'll go down that road. Right now, I'm really worried about the exit exam, and I'll keep y'all updated throughout the semester with how I'm doing for that. And of course, I'll, you know, share with you guys whether I pass or fail first time or whatever. I'll make sure to keep going along the routine and the journey with that with you guys. But I'm nervous about this exit exam. Yeah, so that was my third semester. Third semester was fun, and I'm really looking forward to my fourth semester. Like, I still can't believe like I'm sitting here making this video. Like, I'm about to enter fourth semester. I'm gonna be finished with nursing school in May. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it has taken me a little bit to get it out, but I have just really enjoyed my break, and I'm really looking forward to starting the semester, getting back with my girls, getting back in the groove of things. And I think the biggest thing is just I'm gonna be so motivated because I'll be finished and get back. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in my next one. Bye.